tutimize na malengo yetu. Jumuiya yetu sote tuilinde, tuajibike, tuimarike.
I'm going to tell you what I feel the foundation should be saying about itself. Say, when you see all that we're trying to do in this world, thinking, doing, talking, organizing, we really want three things. We want peace. Who doesn't want peace? Anybody in this room doesn't want peace? No. We want unity, because nobody wants to live in isolation. But we want also development, to do things ourselves, the results of which are useful to ourselves and to others. That's people-centered development. Whatever you do is useful to yourself and is also useful to others. Those three words make up the foundation, the main purpose or the main object of the foundation. Peace, unity, and people-centered development. How do you get those three? How do you get those three? Again, if you accept a few things. First, you accept that people are equal. Human beings are equal in their humanity. I'm human, you are human. We're all here human beings. So we are equal in our humanity. That's one. Number two, you also try to accept and live. To accept that people who are equal in their humanity, they also deserve to be treated equally in human rights. We all deserve our human rights. Respect, recognition, needs, and the rest of it. Number three, we have to conduct our affairs democratically, with the opportunity to live together in unity as equals, but also the opportunity to discuss together about the affairs, about our welfare, about our needs, and about our fears, expectations, and aspirations. That's democracy, simply stated. And last, that we must all accept to work. We have to work. To earn our living, you have to work. And if you have to work, you have to have access. You have access to working conditions. Accept things, important things like land. And land must not and cannot belong to only a few, when it's such an important resource for all. Then you could say, briefly, that is Nyere. That is the basis of the peace of the country, or in the country you see today. He gave those three words a word, an African word, which summarizes all that. One word. Ujamaa. We are one. we're a group, we're a society. And he believed that humanity is one, indivisible, and that if we work together on the basis of what I've said, then we'll have peace.
I should only recall Julius Nyere shortly as a father, as a family man. Oh, he was so good as a family man. If you want cancer, he was so good. If you want to commit crimes against humanity, he was so bad. If you want to get rich so quickly, he wasn't very good. But to humanity, always, I remember him, to humanity. He was always thinking about humanity, how to better humanity. What could he do and what could we all do to better humanity? The laws had to be good. Freedom, democracy, health, education, unity. These were always in the lips and minds of Julius Nyere. He did all he could, but we can't do everything in our lifetime. Somebody else has to come and do it. And lucky enough, to me, a lot of people feel that way. And today I am honored that we are launching the Nyere Center for Peace Research. And Molly Nyere has a big family, and we are still alive. But fortunately for me, today, the Secretary General knows only me. So I got lucky, I'm here, but I believe I'm also representing my mother, who is still alive, and my family, and the rest.
Will be willing to provide a way of an avenue for experience and knowledge sharing through the partnership that would have been forged through the Nyere Center for Peace Research to develop homegrown solutions to our peace-related problems.
Of the Nyere Center, the reopening of the Nyere Center is of particular importance in this moment of our common history. And I underscore the word common because we have many of the same problems in the United States with inequality and exclusion and sidelining those who need a voice. And our democracy is incomplete until we learn about equality. Julius Nyere offers us the path forward. The center reaffirms the importance of peace building as the best tool to achieve this task. This, despite the mountain of evidence of the damage and destruction, that an upheaval that comes when dialogue is replaced by war as the favored solution to our problems. It leads to the destruction of us all. Today, we relaunched the Nyere Center for Peace Research, first opened in 2006 through this incredible partnership between the EAC, Arcadia University, and the American Graduate School for International Relations and Diplomacy. It is a shared commitment to the power of education in building the capacity for peace as the foundation upon which further capacity in sustainable peace is secured. Today we commit to this unique and internationally sweeping collaboration. It puts students, scholars, it puts students and scholars and practitioners together in support of the EAC vision for a peaceful and prosperous Africa. The center provides the intellectual and physical infrastructure to contribute to this critically necessary goal and builds the capacity for the next generation to utilize the tools of peace over warfare. The EAC is a fitting home for the Nyere Center for Peace. There is brilliance here. It's one of the reasons I love coming back. As a professor, I get to learn. There is truly brilliance here. The mission of the EAC is to foster the political, socioeconomic, and cultural integration of the member states, to spur regional development, and to secure sustainable peace. Under the leadership of the Honorable Secretary General, Dr. Mathuki, the EAC is at the vanguard of this effort. The emphasis on education, connecting theory and practice in education, is very much in keeping with the center's namesake, Julius Nyere. Tanzania's first president and one of America's most respected, one of Africa's, we wish we had a leader like this in America, we really do. Tanzania's first president and one of Africa's most respected leaders and intellectuals. Julius Nyere's life's work was in promoting unity and solidarity of African states, to spur economic development, and to promote international cooperation and peace.
All of us, you are lucky to associate yourself with Mwalimu Nyerere. You know, some of us were in school when we were growing up. We used to read about Mwalimu Nyerere. And so when I had an opportunity to come to the Parliament of East African Community, when I met his son, I got scared. How can I come close to the son of a great man like Nyere? And so he told me, don't worry. I know you're a poor boy from a poor background. But you are lucky to be associated with me. And so Makongoro and I became very close friends. And there's some few things we agreed with Makongoro Nyerere, that once we'll be in a position to make a difference in this East Africa, we shall make a difference. I hope you still keep that, because that was our secret. And we felt our secret would be making East Africa borderless, making all the countries of East Africa borderless, making it one East Africa. And that is the spirit that Mwalimu Nyerere himself stood for. He stood for a united Africa. He stood for one, actually, East Africa. And when I was lucky at some point to hoist the flag of East Africa, you remember we did that with Makongoro, in the homes of Mama Nyerere. We did that in the homes of Mama Ngina. We did that in the home of Maria Obote. And that was to also appreciate the role of women in this community. And we had to do that. And therefore, the subject today is relaunching the Nyerere Center for Peace. You know, the East African community is growing. Recently, we admitted the Democratic Republic of Congo as the 7th partner state of the East African community. And as we speak, we have just had a mission that has come from Somalia, because now we're in the process of admitting Somalia to be the 8th member of the East African community. And therefore, that tells you the need for peace in our region going forward. That we cannot take our seats back and relax, but we must, all of us, contribute towards peace, because that is what Mwalimu stood for. And I want to thank the Acadia fraternity for having taken time when I met you a few months ago with Ambassador Chilkot. You assured me that you are ready to partner with the East African community to take the dream of Mwalimu Nyerere forward. And therefore, one of the things that made me really take this forward is when I came to Parliament and I met the son. And I didn't see anything in the compound that sounded like Mwalimu Nyerere dream should be taken forward. And therefore, I said, one day when I will get an opportunity, I will do that. And that is what motivates me to strengthen this center, because we all know that Mwalimu Nyerere stood for peace. And I want to carry that forward. On whether you went to God walking, or driving a bicycle, or being Benz, we are very lucky as East Africa. I am telling you that we have Mwalimu Nyerere to have been born in East Africa. That's something we must appreciate. Everyone in this world would want to be associated with the Mwalimu Nyerere because of the ideals that he stood for. And if it was not for him, possibly we would not be having an Africa that it looks the way it is today. And therefore, East African community. And looking at the unity of Africa, I remember Mwalimu Nyere felt, why can't we strengthen Africa by strengthening regional economic blocks? He first felt we should strengthen East Africa, we should strengthen Southern Africa and other blocks as we go to Africa. And those are the ideals. And I'm very happy and honored to have the team of that stood to manage the affairs of Mwalimu Nyere Center.
I'm delighted to be here this morning to witness and officiate the relaunch of the East African Community Nyere Center for Peace Research. The reactivation of this regional center for peace research is a laudable initiative which has come at a time when the community is growing amidst increasing and deliberate efforts to establish and sustain viable peace and conflict resolution mechanisms. The center is well aligned to the strong legacy of Mwalimu Nyerere, the first president of the United Republic of Tanzania, who is recognized to have breathed, lived, and walked peace. Mwalimu Nyerere was a peacemaker, peace builder, and a peace enforcer who employed peaceful political means to obtain independence for the Tanganyika without shedding a pint of blood. He went further to unite with the People's Republic of Zanzibar to form the United Republic of Tanzania and anchored it as an inclusive society without racial, religious, ethnic, and tribal divides that existed and perpetuated by the decades of colonialism. Peace in Tanzania was not enough to Mwalimu Nyerere. He believed peace and freedom must coexist, and that freedom and peace in Tanzania will not be enough if other countries of the continent were not free and not at peace. For that reason, Mwalimu Nyerere was instrumental in the formation of the Organization of the African Unity, OAU, in 1963. Among the greatest contributions he made was to pioneer the principle which to the larger extent helped Africa to evade conflicts that would arise from the border disputes and territorial claims which were a result of colonial legacy. The other was the establishment of the OAU Liberation Committee, which presided over as its chairman, and Dar es Salaam became his headquarters. As the chair of this important committee, Mwalimu Nyerere provided leadership, moral, political, and where necessary, training and material support to the freedom fighters in the frontline states. The venture that resulted into liberation of many former colonies in Africa through negotiation than in bloodshed. The last frontier of the majority rule in the South Africa. Mwalimu Nyerere thought Pan-Africanism was indispensable if we are to achieve a peaceful and stable continent. That is why prior to the independence of Tanganyika, Mwalimu was contemplating delaying to wait for Kenya and Uganda so that as to unite together to form an East African Federation. It is therefore a joyous moment today that as per aspirations of Mwalimu Nyerere, the work of this Center for Peace Research will greatly propagate peace and freedom agenda in the East African Community region and beyond. The partnership and support granted by Acadia University and the American Graduate School in Paris is highly applauded. It is, however, paramount that the East African community puts in place effective measures to ensure the future sustainability of this center by partner states and through the effective engagement of academic and research institutions and other stakeholders in the region. Ladies and gentlemen, well-coordinated independent research, open dialogue, actionable ideas on peace and security issues are critical ingredients in informing decision-making processes by policy makers and leaders. Focused capacity building and nurturing academic resources within the region will create a pool of thinkers with deeper understanding of the status of regional peace and security. Peace and security are prerequisites for regional development and integration. We must therefore be intentional in building capacities to secure an environment that is stable and peaceful for an enhanced human security, sustainable peace, and conflict resolution mechanisms in the region. This will contribute towards promotion of peaceful and prosperous East Africa, which is a key priority area for the EAC. It is no secret that academicians and researchers play a great role in providing actionable ideas and supporting evidence-based policy making. The success of the Nyere Center for Peace Research will therefore highly contribute to the East African integration process. This will, however, require regional commitment and collaboration within the diverse stakeholders to create synergy in the generation and utilization of the said knowledge. I therefore challenge all the stakeholders to join hands and contribute to the growth and sustainability of this noble center for the benefit of integration and development in the East Africa. Distinguished delegates, globally there are increasing threats and challenges to peace and security, which our region is a step to it. Sorry for the translation because I have to get it from my Sukuma language to Swahili, then to English. If not mitigated and addressed in informed ways, such threats may compromise the main fabric of our nations and community. It is commendable that the EAC and its partners have recognized the need to mitigate possible threats to peace through capacity building, research, and exchange programs. The United Republic of Tanzania welcomes the idea of relaunching the Nyere Center for Peace Research, and this will go a long way in strengthening regional integration and development through improved human capacities, research, and exchange in the region and beyond. The center will contribute to efficient and effectiveness in designing deliberate measures to address and counter any existing or emerging threats to peace and security in the region. On behalf of the government and the people of Tanzania, I wish to take this opportunity to extend our sincere appreciation to the EAC for relaunching of the Nyere Center.
Very important. Haujamwambisha kwa nini? Wewe ni kiongozi. Sasa hongera sana mheshimiwa. Hongera sana. Balozi kwamba
Whenever we come in front here for this session, you also back up closer here. I see how many people I'm having. Very good, very good, very good, very good. Representatives of partner states, please come closer. Ambassadors, please. Pelosi. Now, official moment for relaunching the Nyere Center is symbolically being done. Professor, hold somewhere.
Hold somewhere here. Just hold his hand like this.
There it is. There it goes. There it goes.